Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Senior Living. Thanks for joining us. We have got so much going on around the Verde Valley, and we have got a lot going on today's Senior Living. We are going to talk about the Verde Valley Concert Association. We're also going to talk about Yavapai College's Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. We've got some great entertainment with a couple of the guys from Major Lingo. And our first guest is here to give us a little bit more information about why we're going to talk to Major Lingo. Don Norman, Supervisor with the Community Services Department for the town of Clarkdale,
yes,
is going to tell us about the summer concert series in the park in Clarkdale. Don, thanks for joining us on the show and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Good. Clarkdale's a great place to, in the summertime, there's a lot going on. I know that just a few weeks ago you had a pre-season concert with the band Elixir.
Yes.
And I heard that went very, very well.
It did. We were very gracious to As We Dance, who sponsored it. Mm-hmm. It gave us a great opportunity to kind of give the community a kickoff start to our community, or to our concerts in the park for the summer.
And the concerts in the park are scheduled once a month, am I correct?
It's about every 2 weeks through the months, with exception of July, because we have our 4th of July event.
Right.
But we try to do them every 2 weeks in a month.
Great.
So it's I do recommend that someone, if you are interested, to check out our website, because we do have the schedule posted there, mm-hmm, to get the accurate dates and times.
Mm-hmm. I did notice, we will talk a little bit more about the 4th of July, but the concert, the series kicks off here in just a couple of weeks. June 9th, I believe, is
yes,
the first concert in the park. And the first concert that you're going to have is?
Major Lingo.
One of the favorites.
Exactly. So we're really glad to have them back, as we do every year. They are the community's one of the favorites. It will be June 9th, starting at 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. All of the concerts are 2 hours. We are really appreciative of the community support that we get for our concerts in the park, because they are solely funded from sponsors and our 50/50 raffles that we hold. And so to continue to offer 7 concerts every summer, we're really lucky, and it just shows how important it is to our community to have them. Absolutely.
You know, at some point over the summer last year, one of the bands that plays, they were playing for another event here in the Valley, and I said, when are you coming up in Clarkdale? And they said, oh, we don't get to play this year, but we're headed tonight. They're having a concert tonight. Everybody supports those concerts and goes and,
yes,
and loves the opportunity. What do I need to know if I have not been to a concert yet? What can I bring? What should I not bring?
Alcohol is not allowed in our parks.
Right.
You do want to bring your own seating. Some people bring blankets, some people bring their fold-up chairs, so it's at your discretion. A lot of families make it an evening event where they'll pack picnics, or they'll take advantage of the local restaurants across the street and pick up a pizza or something from Sukasa. So it's a really nice evening out for a family, because we do have the playground there, so the kids are entertained at the same time while the families get to enjoy the music.
That sounds great. Pets?
Pets are allowed in the park. They do have to be kept on a leash.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That makes it an entire family event.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Good deal. Okay, so about every couple of weeks, the schedule starts off with Major Lingo, followed by Sentimental Journey. I'm cheating because I can't remember all of them. I
yes,
do know that. Let's see. Tell me the rest of the bands just real quick.
On June 23rd, we have Sentimental Journey. Mm-hmm. July 14th, we have the Knuckleheads. July 28th, we have the Janice Paul Quartet. August 11th, Aces and Eights. August 25th, Burnett Family Bluegrass. And September 8th, Cadillac Angels.
Full lineup. That is awesome.
And we do try to have a variety of genres, so that way we are, giving the community a different range of music every time.
And appeal to somebody every single concert. Excellent. Okay, we've got that covered a little bit. Remind everybody, if you need more information, you can visit the Town of Clarkdale's website at clarkdale.az.gov and check out the full schedule. You could also get more information on the July 4th Centennial Celebration.
Yes, this year the Town of Clarkdale is celebrating its 100th birthday, just like the state. We're really excited about that, and we are actually sanctioned as an official centennial event. That's
Easy
a little
for
difficult.
you to say.
Yes. Yes, we will have our traditional activities as we have in the past. It does start at 7 o'clock in the town park and goes until 11 a.m. We will have a couple special additions this year. There may be special appearances by Senator William Clark. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. So it's going to be quite an event. And at 9 o'clock, we do have our 4th of July Kids Parade, and this year in recognition of our birthday, we do have a theme, and it's Happy 100th Birthday Clarkdale, Arizona.
That is going to be so exciting.
Yes.
If everybody recalls, Verde Valley Television covered the Clarkdale Kids Parade, 4th of July Parade last year. We will be doing the same thing again this year. So get out there, enjoy all of the festivities, and then you can watch the parade again over and over again on Verde Valley TV. So the parade kicks off at 9 a.m.
Yes.
And I know from last year, if you want a seat in the shade along the side of the street, you better get there a little bit early.
Yes, because it is limited to the shaded area.
Yeah,
but
warm.
It does start at the school and runs from the school all the way down Main Street and through the business district. So you can actually find a seat along that route as well.
That's great. That's great. And there is an award ceremony after the parade.
Yes.
And then what follows that immediately after that?
Around 9 o'clock, we have children's games, which are hosted by the Clarkdale Jerome School. Mm-hmm. We also have the Clark Memorial Library Ice Cream Social.
Oh, yeah.
And free fire truck rides provided by the fire district. That actually starts at 7:30 in the morning and will run throughout the morning. We will have music performed by the Cottonwood Community Band as usual. They're one of the favorites of the event. Mm-hmm. And this year we are adding the old-fashioned picnic games and races like sack races and three-legged races to kind of tie into the centennial event to make it a little bit more special than usual. So. And then there's also going to be a community mural commemorating 100 years of Clarkdale. So we are asking residents and anybody who wants to participate in it to bring mementos or photos that they want to add to the mural. And then if they want to sign it or put a special message on it, they can do that as well.
And is the mural going to be on display somewhere permanently, or?
That hasn't been decided. I know that there's been discussions about it roaming from like the library to the museum, so that way it's on display. That hasn't been decided yet as far as what a schedule would be like for that. So
that is awesome. What else do we need to know about what's going on in Clarkdale? I did see something. There's Zumba classes in the park.
It's actually at the auditorium.
Oh, okay.
And it's Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock. There is a fee for that, but it's a great opportunity to meet others and to get some exercise at the same time. June 16th, there is a centennial event that's going to be held at the Elks Lodge for Flag Day. Mm-hmm. That information can be found on our website as well.
Okay. All the events, there's a full event calendar on the website. You can check that all out. Encourage everybody the concerts in the park are a great way to spend part of your weekend, and very enjoyable, very, very much fun. And don't forget to thank the businesses that are supporting those kinds of things. Visit them, pay a compliment to all of those businesses that support these activities. Don Norman, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're always glad when we can find out more about that. Want you to stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. We do have a lot more information coming up, and we'll be joined later, as I said, by Major Lingo. Stay tuned.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Senior Living. We have a lot of great guests here. Our next guest is going to fill us in. The Verde Valley Concert Association does great things throughout the Verde Valley and provides some, not only entertainment for all of us, but some opportunities for those of us that have a little bit of acting in our blood. So thank you, Mark Tufte. You are one of the representing the board for the Verde Valley Concert Association. Yeah. Welcome to our show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Tell us about this coming season. It sounds like there's an awful lot going on.
Well, you know, we're just really excited. We're celebrating 60 years this year. That's just phenomenal to think that, you know, 60 years ago, a group of people sat down and said, you know what, we need to bring performing arts to the Verde Valley. And then they made it a reality that has continued for 60 years and is still going strong, and we hope it continues for another 60 years into the future. So we're really excited about that.
Absolutely.
But let me talk a little bit about our Missoula Children's Theater program. We've been bringing them for over 20 years to the area. And what's neat about this program is the area youth from kindergarten to 12th grade, they show up on a Monday, they audition, and then for the next 4 days, they rehearse, they try on their costumes, they practice their makeup, and then on Saturday, they perform 2 shows. It's unbelievable to think that kids, especially kindergartners, are going to be auditioning, rehearsing, and performing in a matter of 5-6 days.
And they probably adjust to that better than I would, I'm sure. They just
It's amazing what kids can do. I think we don't give them enough credit. Mm-hmm. But what we're really excited about is Cottonwood is going to be hosting one of our performances. Mm-hmm. That's going to be at the Cottonwood Civic Center. Mm-hmm. The auditions start on June 11th at 9:45 a.m. The performances for the Cottonwood will be on June 16th, that following Saturday. The program that they'll be putting on is called Red Riding Hood.
Yay.
For anybody that wants to know more about that, they can contact Betsy Williams, and her number is 451-8419. And then we also do a program over in the village of Oak Creek, and that's going to be at the Verde Valley School. Mm-hmm. The auditions will be on June 4th at 9:45 a.m. and performances will be that Saturday, June 11th. And they're going to be doing Betty Lou and the Country Beast.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of neat how they come up with the names, a little play on the Disney stuff.
Exactly.
Nicole Davis is heading that up for us, and her phone number is 301-2814. Okay. Both of these shows are made possible because of generous donations by the Verde Valley Medical Center, the City of Cottonwood, the Sedona Community Foundation, and the Arizona Commission on the Arts, as well as other sponsors in the community. And it allows these kids to do this tuition free. They're able to go there without a penny out of their pocket. And what's really neat is no kid gets turned away. You know, the cast is, say, 60, 70 kids that can perform, but if we have 80, 90 kids show up, then those kids are put into assistant director positions so that they're actually still involved, they're still doing something, and it's really a good character building for these kids. I mean, it's an amazing experience, and I invite everybody to come out and check one of those out.
What a great opportunity for the kids in the Verde Valley. I just think that's so awesome. Kind of the every kid plays concept that allows them to just get a feel for whether or not it's something they want to pursue.
That's right. That's right.
Great. What's up after that?
Well, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our Rising Stars program.
Oh,
That's another piece that we do. And what we do is our local music teachers, they submit their students to the Concert Association to perform. These kids go up on a stage in front of judges and perform. I mean, they're on there by themselves on that huge stage, and they have these 3 judges peering down on them, and they do their best. And these judges provide them with positive feedback, And the top performers...
Simon's not a judge, right?
No,
Okay,
luckily
all
not.
right.
Luckily not.
Okay, I just had to clarify.
But they do receive awards. We have the Ruth Pranspool Schaefer Award, and that's $1,000 for the top performer to go to the NAU Summer Music Camp. Some of the other older kids, they receive scholarships to help get them private lessons for whatever they're performing in. And then the younger kids get ribbons for their placement. And then they're all invited back, all the top performers are invited back for an actual concert so that they can perform in front of their family and friends. And it's just a really neat experience because it takes a lot to stand up on a big stage by yourself and perform. So it's another character building opportunity for local youth.
Absolutely.
Then we go into our residency program. And that's a really neat thing. What we do is we have our concert season, and then we ask some of our performers to go out to local schools and to assisted living facilities. And these performers have a little bit of verbal interaction, and then they perform for them. And a lot of these kids and these seniors may not have the opportunity to go out to our concerts.
Right.
And they're getting to have this opportunity for free provided by the Concert Association. So that's another great program. So I'm really proud of those programs. I really want to emphasize those, but probably everybody wants to know what's the upcoming season going to be.
Well, I think there is a little bit for everybody involved with the Verde Valley Concert Association. So what else do we need to know about the association?
Well, you know, the big thing I want everybody to know is we are constantly looking for volunteers for all of our different events that we put on. We would love to have some new board of directors providing us with new insight. It was about 2 years ago, we had a new board member that brought us some new insight on performances, and we brought in this group that I had never heard of before that is a Mongolian throat singing group called Hun Hertu, and they're supposed to be the preeminent group for that. And you know, a lot of us were like, well, I don't know, we haven't heard of it. But it turned out to be a really well-received concert.
Amazing.
And that's why we really need anybody that has an interest in performing arts or kids, for them to come out and be a part of our organization. All they have to do is call our office. The phone number is 639-0636, and they can talk to Merlin Brown. She's an amazing lady, and she kind of runs our office for us, and we'll be able to coordinate them with the board and get them involved.
The opportunities for everyone, kids, grandkids, check out the website, verdevalleyconcerts.org.
Correct, verdevalleyconcerts.org.
All of that information is on there, is available. Get them to try out for it. What a great opportunity. And I really especially like the part that there are things for everyone to do and to be involved in. And while not all of us, you know, we do have some performers and some artists here, but some of us don't practice, don't do any of that kind of stuff, but you've got an opportunity to really help out, really be involved in the lives of some children and some different facilities throughout the Verde Valley area, and to help bring things that we might not ever. I wouldn't have even known about Mongolian throat singers.
I didn't either until
never had even heard of that before. So to have the opportunity to learn something new, that in and of itself is pretty exciting.
A great cultural experience.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. What else is upcoming? I know you need some board members. Are there more? The concert, or the season, let me rephrase that. The season runs through? It's
going to be running through 2012, 2013. That's our upcoming season.
Okay.
We're really excited about some of the acts that we were able to obtain. In October, we're going to have a small orchestra that's going to be performing.
Right.
And I say small, I don't want it to demean it. It's going to be a great performance, but we haven't been able to narrow down who's going to actually perform for us and what the date will be. Then in November is a group that has typically sold out every time we've brought them. And some people, I think, will recognize the name. It's Sons of the Pioneer.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We will definitely stay in tune with that. Mark Tufte, Verde Valley Concert Association, thank you so much for joining us and for filling us in. All the information is available. It's been on the screen, or you can visit myradioplace.com. We're going to check with our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to this episode of Senior Living. We have been visiting with Don Norman with the town of Clarkdale. We've learned all about the summer concert series, which is very exciting. Got some information on the Verde Valley Concert Association, how we can become involved in that. Now it's time to take a few minutes for ourselves. One of the issues that we address frequently on Senior Living is the importance of taking care of ourselves in so many different ways, mentally, physically, and we know that staying active, volunteering, continuing to educate yourselves, those are all really, really important issues. And a few weeks ago, as I was looking through some information, I happened to see an article about seniors and fitness training, and read it and thought, wow, this is really kind of interesting. Therefore, I tracked down Kim Hollenback, certified personal trainer.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about how we can continue to take care of ourselves. First of all, thank you, Kim, for joining us today. It's a real pleasure to meet you. I've seen some of the great information that you've had published, and as I just investigated further, you make it sound so easy to stay in great shape. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, as you know, staying in shape is very important, and especially keeping our muscle mass. And so, you know, it's great when people go for walks and things like that, but as we get older, it's called sarcopenia, and it translates poverty of the flesh. And it's just the aging process where our muscles tend to wither up unless we use them. And that's why it's so very important for people over 50 to include weight training in their exercise regime, because we need to hang on to our muscle mass.
And that makes perfect sense when you talk about, we know that cardio is very important, absolutely, the pulmonary,
lungs,
the pulmonary aspect. But that is, I mean, I've even noticed that being able to wear sleeveless shirts just seems impossible to me, but it is possible.
It is possible, and I've had clients who are already in their 60s and 70s come to me and be able to wear a spaghetti strap dress to a wedding or something. It takes a little bit more time. You know, the older we get, the longer it takes us to get back into shape, but with dedication and just a methodical approach to the muscles, you know, working each one in many different ways, you can get back your muscle tone.
Okay, let's look at maybe the ABCs of it really quickly. If you had to prioritize for your clients, for the people that you work with, what would you suggest? Let's assume that you're working with somebody that is in moderate fitness and health form. What's your first advice?
Well, the first thing that we would do is to start weight training, and then when clients come in, I also make them work on their balance. So I have a flat, it's a dome, So it's like a ball, but it's a half a ball. And so I get them up there and they have to stand on that and perform different drills. And I also have a half a roll that's way down low on the ground. So I put people in unstable surfaces and then make them perform exercises. So it's really working the total package, all the stabilizer muscles for their balance, as well as the weight training. And then we also do agility training, which is being able to move your feet in certain patterns and start to establish a little more speed and quickness. Because that becomes an issue too, is that you need to be able to apply force powerfully and quickly. You know, if you're slipping and falling, you have to grip. And so a main thing that we address, no matter how old you are, is your core. And we hit the core from the front, the crisscross, the sideways, the back, you know, it's just the core, the core, the core. And as people get in better shapes with every lift, say, you know, you're working your triceps and they're like, I really have to squeeze my stomach to make that happen. Or, and it's just, every move that we do comes from the core. So the core is so very important to train.
Right. You've mentioned all three things that you've mentioned right now, I think are so critical for us to keep in mind. It doesn't take much to realize that you're a little less stable, you're a little, obviously your strength, you lose a little bit of strength. The balance thing, but the movement too, being able to, I've noticed if I'm stepping over a rock or jumping or crossing something, it's like, oh, that hurt a little bit more than it used to.
Yeah.
And all of those things I think are important for us to realize, and I think we can eliminate or at least minimize future health risks if we stay on top of that.
Definitely.
Now, do you consult with people if for instance, someone watching our show today says, I need to think about this. Do you have the capability to consult with them first before you decide or recommend what they need to do to go forward?
Sure, we can talk on the phone. You can get information off my website. We can talk on the phone. I could have you in for an interview. Some people come and remain clients. They come and work out with me. Some people have equipment at home and they want to know how to do it.
Great idea.
And so they will hire me once a week or every other week, and I start teaching them exercises. I ask them, well, what equipment do you have? Oh, you have a ball, 5-pounders, 8-pounders, and I'll write a workout so they can use the equipment they already own, and then I teach them how to do it, and then they go home and practice, and then they come back and we do more, and then they practice. And so, you know, if you're starting off from scratch, you might have to come once a week for 2 or 3 months to really feel confident doing it on your own.
Right.
But that weekly check-in with me kind of keeps you on track. You know, I'm going to ask you if you did your homework, and we'll practice the moves again, and like, oh, you know, hold your arm a little more this way, you know, just to remind them the proper form. So I have a lot of clients that I've taught and then kind of put them out on their own. And then every couple of months they'll call me and say, oh, I'm a little bored. Can I come in and learn some new moves?
There you go.
And then they'll come and learn new moves. So,
real quickly, give me the top issue to consider right now.
The top issue to consider. As we age, the top issue to consider is your muscle mass.
Okay.
We need to lift weights to keep the muscle mass. If we have any more time, I did have 2 really exciting research points that have come out. Okay. They used to think that you could not grow any new brain cells, that you were born with a certain amount and that's all you ever had. They have recently found out that we can, in fact, grow new brain cells. And so, like for dementia prevention, they say, oh, learn crossword puzzles, learn French, do this, do that, right? Well, they've been able to single this out and study this. And when you do a crossword puzzle, you do grow new brain cells. Unfortunately, those brain cells only know how to do crossword puzzles. Isn't that strange? Okay, and then they found that doing exercise grows new brain cells. The difference is the exercise brain cells become assimilated into the whole, into the matrix, and they're multitaskers. And these new brain cells can do everything. Now, isn't that just fascinating? And this is from the New York Times, and that was from a study from the University of Illinois.
Absolutely fascinating.
Okay, the second one is that we know that your body is continually renewing and refreshing itself, right?
Right.
Obviously, that process slows down as we get older.
Right.
And within each cell, you collect a kind of debris, you know, broken pieces of protein, used up mitochondria, and your body has the ability to create a membrane, and it's called an intracellular membrane, and it cleans so it encapsulates the junk, and it moves it over, and it either recycles it or gets rid of it. Okay, so this is exciting, and that process slows down as we get older, so we have more junk in our cells. So they put someone on a treadmill and they put this blue dye so you could see the membranes, and when people exercise, pop, 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 you like form all these intracellular house cleaning membranes. So as you are exercising, you're actually encapsulating your cellular debris. So we know we feel better. We know we're oxygenating our blood, but now they realize exactly how. What is this doing for us? And you're actually cleaning up your cells.
Amazing.
Now, is that exciting or what?
Amazing.
New brain cells, and you're cleaning out the body cells that you already have.
Sounds like it's something that I need to give a little bit more consideration to.
Definitely.
Kim Hollenback, thank you very much for joining us.
Pam.
Stay on top of your health, and this includes all of the things that Kim has been mentioning today. We know that they're important. Pay attention to them. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back. You come back with us.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Well, from keeping our bodies healthy and growing new brain cells to something that allows us to use our brain cells. We are, our guest now is Cy Brandon. You are one of the facilitators with Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at Yavapai College, correct?
That is correct.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. We've had the pleasure before. You're involved in quite a few things throughout the Verde Valley. Osher Lifelong Learning Center is one of the bright spots for all of those of us that are interested in just doing things, becoming better at certain things, getting involved with things that maybe we've never had the opportunity to do. And thankfully, Yavapai College adopted this. And Mr. Brandon, will you tell us a little bit more, please, about what Osher Lifelong Learning Institute is exactly?
Well, we're very fortunate to have this in the Verde Valley.
You bet.
I think we're either one or two of the community colleges in the United States that actually has an Osher Lifelong Learning Institute program. And the program came about because Bernard Osher felt a need for retirement-age adults to have an opportunity to learn new things.
Mm-hmm.
And he funded the program through his foundation there's probably 35 or 40 colleges throughout the United States that receive an endowment from the Osher Foundation to do this Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. So we're able to offer adults opportunities to take learning groups and workshops at a very reasonable cost, because all the facilitators donate their time. Nobody is paid in terms of facilitators. It's a membership organization,
mm-hmm.
and the only thing that costs that we actually have is our advertising costs, and then we also have a paid staff to help us with a lot of the administration.
Right. And are the classes available at all of the Yavapai College campuses?
Yes. There's a good program over in Prescott. Our particular program has classes at the Yavapai College campus in Clarkdale, and then also where the Zaki Gordon Institute is located in Sedona.
Right, right. Now, as I understand it, and we'll just briefly touch on this because people need to know, I believe the Clarkdale campus is closed for the summer.
That's correct.
So all of the summer program that we're going to continue to talk about briefly, the summer program is being held at the Sedona, the Zaki Gordon campus.
Not exactly.
Okay. Where we do know that exactly the Clarkdale campus will be closed for the summer.
That is true.
Now, for all of the classes that are in the summer program, which there's quite a selection of classes available still, what is the opportunity that everybody has to take them?
This is actually, we have 3 terms. We've had 3 terms in the past. We have a fall and a winter and a spring term. And during those terms, we've had anywhere from 75 to 100 different offerings, and that's located at those 2 campuses. This is the first summer that we're actually trying what we call a summer camp for grown-ups. And it's an opportunity to experience OLLI on a maybe a little more smaller scale, and with a little bit more flexible schedule, because the classes will be taking place anywhere between mid-June and mid-August.
Right.
Where before we were limited to 6 to 8 weeks, it was a particular time where they took place. Some of the classes actually are going to meet every day of the week and then be over in 1 week. And then some classes just are going to meet once a week, and that might go for 4 or 6 weeks during the summer. So the places the classes are going to be, we found a couple of places in the Cottonwood, Cornville area that are willing to host the classes.
Excellent.
I'm doing my big band era class out at Beaver Creek, the Beaver Creek Community Center, which is part of the elementary school.
Right.
And we've been hearing a lot that the retirees over there would love to have an opportunity to take some OLLI classes and not drive as far as the Clarkdale campus or the Sedona campus. So we're trying to experiment and bring OLLI to them. So I'm doing that class there. And then we do have a class in Sedona as well.
Excellent. Like you just said, not only can you go to college, but college is going to come to you if you look for the right classes and they're in a good area. I think that's really excellent. I do know registration has just begun.
That's correct.
For the summer camp for grown-ups.
Right.
And registration, some of the classes start within the next couple of weeks, so there are some that will start right away.
Start about mid-June, so it's pretty close. Yes.
Exactly. What else there are? Give us a quick rundown of the classes that will be available throughout the summer.
Okay. Before I do that, let me say that you mentioned the word college classes. Well, one of the nice things about OLLI is that these are classes for learning for the fun of it. We do not have tests. We do not have grades. It's people that just come to enjoy the excitement of learning something new.
And you're with those that are trying to experience the same thing.
The same thing. And the friendships is a very important part of OLLI as well.
Exactly.
So we have, I think, 8 different classes. One of the things is supper time poetry field trips. And the idea behind this is to go to different places throughout the Verde Valley and be inspired by that scenery and write poetry. There's also a class on writing memoirs. I mentioned my big band era. We'll be doing a lot of listening to music and learning about that particular time period in our history. There's a class called The Real in the Real, which is designed to discuss how movies affect us emotionally, touch our sensibilities. There's The Mystery of Dreams. There's also Ranking the Presidents, which is going to deal with presidential leadership and the Constitution. And then there's Tarot for 2012, so you can kind of learn how the Tarot cards affect our future.
Whoa.
There's going to be an OLLI summer camp outing where people can go just for the fun of it to go up to Mingus Mountain and tell stories and roast marshmallows. And then over on the Sedona campus, there's Music of Spain and Portugal.
Lots of different things to choose from. www.yc.edu slash, I don't remember the rest. It's a long one. Go to yc.edu and connect to the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. All of that information is available. The numbers have been available. Check at myradioplace.com if you need some more information. Mr. Cy Brandon, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Good luck. I know a couple people actually that took your Big Band Era class and they loved it. We are going to take a short break and then we're going to do some more learning. We're going to check out the library. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
In the 1950s, the Phoenix Extension Library, oh wait, I'm in Cottonwood now, I don't have to do that. In the 1950s, the library from Phoenix sent a bookmobile to Cottonwood once a week to bring books for people to borrow and read. At the driver's suggestion, the thought of an actual library here in Cottonwood came to be. He said that if they would get it started, they could help provide books for the first library. By 1959, it was official, and the Civic Center Club had been able to give them a building to start the library. A lot was done in those early years that continued the success of the library, and then in the early 70s, land was donated and an official building was built for the very first library. But it was then that the fundraising began, and a call to action was given to get people to become involved in helping to support the library efforts in Cottonwood. The Bookmarks was formed, and they officially began fundraising to build a brand new building for the library. In the early 90s, again, the need was identified to have a new building to house all of the new technologies that libraries were beginning to bring in, and the federal grants were discovered. So the Bookmarks began the fundraising efforts. The city kicked in, a lot of private individuals kicked in, and in 1994, I believe it was, the brand new library was built. We are with current library manager, Vanessa Ward. Thanks for joining us to talk a little bit about all of the wonderful things that are going on with the library. First of all, it is a great building, and it was opened in 1994, correct?
Right.
And in 1993 was your first year with the Cottonwood Public Library?
Yes, I started
in the old building.
Temporary, in the old building.
I know that you have been the library manager for about a year, and prior to that you were a coordinator. Tell us about some of the changes that you've seen since the early 90s to the current day in 2012.
Well, the biggest change would be the internet use. We originally started out with 4 computers, went to 9 computers, and now we have 17 in adult services.
And adult services are one of the areas that we wanted to talk a little bit about. You do some computer training, I understand.
Right, we have ebook class training and computer training. They're on Fridays mornings. One's in the morning, one's in the afternoon. But we only have the 4 computers to use for the class, so you must call and reserve a space.
So classes are limited. Make sure that you call and schedule that for any of those kinds of classes. But there are many, many, many things you can do at the library besides take classes on the computer, besides scanning the shelves. You can help out, and there's a lot of different ways to help out. How do you utilize your volunteer hours?
Our volunteers, some have 2-hour shifts, some work 4-hour shifts or 3-hour shifts. You can do shelf reading. We have book covers, we have book menders. We're always finding special projects, And right now, we're getting ready for our summer reading program. So the teen area and the juvenile area will need lots of volunteers for that. They do crafts, we do crafts during the week. So we can find something for you to do.
You know, I've been in the youth areas. There's a lot of different things to think about. There's, I know last summer, and I'm sure some of it will happen again this summer, there were some puppet shows and puppet classes, some arts and crafts even, not just reading programs. There are all kinds of things for the younger children. You've got the Tiny Tots class once a week for the little guys, all the way up through teen karaoke.
We have teen karaoke. We have a game day. It's game on with your peers, where they play Xbox. There's a family craft day for children with parents that they do upstairs on Fridays. And let's see, we have a regular story time. We've just started, one of our staff members plays violin.
Oh.
So he has just started doing a little story time once a month with music. And we have music for tots. In the adult areas, we have the book discussion group, we have a writing group. Those are our normal weekly things that go on.
There is a lot that you can do. So whether you want to just visit the library on your own or whether you want to lend a hand, I know some of your team mentioned too that there are some volunteers that while they can't quite commit to a routine or a schedule, they'll just pop in and help.
Right, that's what shelf reading is for.
Okay, that's shelf readers, and that sounds
you can
great.
come in at any time. You just sign in because we do keep statistics, and workman's comp needs to be notified. So you just come in when you feel like it.
What a job!
It's nice. It's a nice one.
That would be great.
Yes.
Okay, you mentioned there are a couple of things, and let me back up to the part where how the computers have become a huge part of what you have to offer. And I know that the bookmarks, the fundraising team has been instrumental in getting some of the electronic kinds of things that you have here at the library.
We're in the process. We're hoping by the end of this month to start our self-checkout. We will have one self-checkout station. We will still need our volunteers because we will still have regular checkout.
Right.
And the bookmarks have bought our security gates, which was a tremendous amount of money, and there's a lot of things we wouldn't be able to do without them. They have purchased our rental books and purchased staff computers. They pretty much fill in on our budget where we can't do.
And the bookmarks are getting a little bit of a helping hand coming up very soon on June 9th, as a matter of fact. The Mannheim Gallery has stepped up to the plate, and they have implemented a fundraising project that just sounds remarkable.
It does.
It is an art creativity thing based on books, correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you know? Can you explain a little bit more about it?
They're 6x6. They're on a canvas that local artists have done their artwork, and it will be open to the public to purchase. Any of the funds will be coming to our friends group to help out with summer reading program.
So there are, again, a number of ways. Visit the Mannheim Gallery. June 9th is the date of their fundraising project. Visit the library, find out how you can help. And as usual, a lot of great opportunities over the summer. Vanessa Ward, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate
and
it.
you get down to the library after we finish the show. We'll be right back.
The day I read a book, I can't remember when, but one of these days I'm going to do it again.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
And it seems that while you slept, there was a cry. Could it be that while you slept, I heard a cry, heard a cry? Above me, you do love me from a gold trapeze. Down below me, something holy brings me to my knees. Yep, and it seems that while you slept, there was a cry. Could it be that while you slept, I heard a cry, heard a cry? I said, oh yeah, then.
Wow. That gentleman was awesome. John Ziegler, Tony Bruno, part of Major Lingo, the performers that will be playing at the very first concert in the park in Clarkdale 2012. Gentlemen, thank you very, very, very much for joining us. And the first thing that I want to do is ask you to, I'm very appreciative that you guys were able to make it. Please introduce the rest of your band that is not here with us today, first of all.
Sally Stricker plays bass and sings beautiful harmony and leads with us, and Steve Botterwig is our drummer and percussionist, and he sings beautifully as well, and they are busy today and sorry they couldn't make it.
Well, and I am sorry as well, because I could have just stopped the rest of this and we could have just had a small concert this afternoon. That would have been great. But I do really appreciate it, and I know, just like Dawn mentioned earlier, you're one of the most requested bands around. This is I feel very honored that you took the time to come in here this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. We feel honored that we have a multi-generational crowd that keeps on coming, keeps on propagating. We're very lucky.
You certainly do have a multi-generational crowd. There's no doubt about that. Get a little bit of history about Major Lingo. When did you guys get started?
Tony and I met at the Spirit Room up in Jerome. We would both moved there, and I was doing a solo at the pub, and Tony came up and introduced himself afterwards, and shortly after that we started writing songs and becoming what was the early form of Major Lingo, a power duo.
Oh, yeah. I did read
somewhat
that
similar to what we have right here now.
There you go. There you go. There's a flash to the past there.
Yeah.
All right.
Really.
Here we are.
It's evolved. I mean, and I know that throughout the years, the music that you guys have put out has just been incredible. So that's
thank you.
We really do appreciate it. And I know for the last several years, I've been in the Verde Valley about 8 years, and you've been at the top of the list ever since I've been up here. So you've been around for a little while, I guess.
Indeed, we're celebrate 30 years together this December.
That's awesome. That is absolutely incredible. Concert in the park, Spirit Room. You guys still do the Spirit Room?
Yeah.
often?
We were born, bred, and buttered in the Spirit Room, and that's where we're going to be on the 16th of June, a couple weeks after the gazebo show.
Gotta love that. That's great. You've done some event type things. I saw you at Rhythm and Ribs a few years ago. What else do you have in store this summer?
You know, to be perfectly honest, we're kind of applying the brakes. We're not stopping, but we're kind of applying the brakes. You saw how long it took us to get all this equipment in here.
But it's a major production. Come on. It seemed like it was all worth it to me.
We're just seeing what comes our way, you know, and basically getting to play a couple times a month or whatever just seems to suit us really, really to the point where that's very satisfying. And
I've happened to talk to a couple of entertainers, and having fun right now is what it's all about. And you get to a point where if you can't have fun doing it, then it's not worth it. It's not anymore.
Sure enough.
But definitely looks like you guys are having fun, even though you had to fight a little bit with that. But it looks like it's a lot of fun. What's the most important thing that our viewers should know about Major Lingo? Throw money? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. The front row rattles their jewelry, and
there you go.
No. What we basically, it's just the music. It's a give and take between the audience and the band, and we would be nowhere without them, of course, and wouldn't be anywhere without them, and it's that exchange of energy that just is the motivation behind wanting to move gear and set up and sing our hearts out and play our slide guitars.
And what was it you called that at the concert in the park? Are we going to get a little bit of lingo aerobics?
Lingo aerobics, yes.
All right, let's do it to it. Anything else, gentlemen? I am going to beg and plead for you to do another song, but anything else that we need to know about you guys or what's coming up? Spirit Room, first of all, Town of Clarkdale, concert in the park at the gazebo, 2 hours. 2 hours of this. That is going to be just awesome. You need to you need to make plans to be there. Bring your lawn chairs, your blanket, and enjoy a beautiful night in the park in Clarkdale. We definitely, as I said, I'm going to get them to do another song. And we thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being here and listening to our guests. Want to thank all of our guests from everybody here at Verde Valley Television and Yavapai Broadcasting. Stay tuned. Major Lingo, John, Tony, let's hear another one.
All right.
Thank you.
Trip to Mexico, I tripped down to the sea. High tide, low tide, waiting there for me. Lamar reflecting, it's my mirror to the sky. Bidding me enter, enter, my ankle, my knee, and my thigh. Dive into oblivion, ocean blue oblivion. Dive into oblivion, ocean blue. I stand anonymous, the sand between my toes. I stand androgynous with coral for my bones. Beat, 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 beat. There is no other sound. Breathe deep, breathe deep, breathe deep, breathe deep. The surf no longer pounds here, but the sirens, well, they're singing. Dive into oblivion, ocean blue oblivion. Dive into oblivion, ocean blue. When I emerge, I taste the salt on my skin. When I emerge, oh yes, I will begin again. 'Cause I stand anonymous with the sand between my toes. I stand androgynous with coral my bones, yeah. And the sirens where they're singing.